What's up, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more acid-techno. We're going back to some classic acid-techno. We're going to listen to some Pump Panel. Those of you who know Pump Panel will know they were around since the early to mid 90s, making sort of some classic acid-techno tunes, one more than any other. That's Confusion Dub, which is actually on this record. Many of you will know it as the track that is used in the opening rave scene of the first Blade movie. But yeah, they basically made a number of sort of like real epic and legendary acid tunes in the mid-90s. We're going to listen to the tune on the other side of the same release, and a lot of their records were sort of like self-released. At least, you know, there's a few, like there's an entire label on Discogs which is called like Not On Label, and then parentheses, the Pump Panel. So yeah, I think they released a lot of their own records, but I know the two guys, primarily it's two guys, it's Tim Taylor and Dan Zamani, but I do believe like Carrie Lekabouche and some others like were involved in some of the releases. Carrie Lekabouche made tunes under the name Agent Orange. I think I reacted to one or two of them on my old channel, but I don't think I've gotten around to re-reacting to them now that I've started the new channel, but I'll get to him soon. But yeah, he's a Swedish artist, by the way. But yeah, so Dan Zamani and Tim Taylor are the Pump Panel primarily. We're going to listen to a tune called Ego Acid. It has a slightly different flavor than the Confusion Dub. And you know, the Confusion and Remover and a couple other tunes they did, they exist in a couple different versions, and the dub is sort of like the more simplified kind of like straightforward version of the tune, and I think maybe one or two of them might have some vocals that are like removed, hence the dub. But yeah, we're going to listen to Ego Acid. It's just the original mix. This tune has a very like bubbly, gurgly sort of like it's almost like playful acid techno. It was on one of the first acid techno compilation CDs I ever got. It was on the Sound of Acid Core Volume 1, I believe. It was either the first volume or the second volume. I'm fairly certain it's the first volume. So it was one of the first acid tunes that I heard and, you know, began to, you know, search and seek when I got turntables in '98 and like, hey, I want to start buying some of these tunes that I've become familiar with in the last couple years. It took me a while to get this. I don't think I got this till like 08, 09. Along with a couple other, I think I got like 3 Pump Panel records like all around the same time. I have the Remover dub, and I'm trying to remember what the third one is. But yeah, again, it's just classic mid-90s acid techno. And again, if you've seen the Blade movie, you've heard Pump Panel without realizing you've heard them. But yeah, here we go. This is Ego Acid, which, you know, it's a different tune. It's hard to compare them. But for me, I actually think it's a better tune than Confusion Dub, even though I think most people would gravitate to the other, or to the latter. 45? We'll go 45, but nope. Slides right into the proper, like the first measure. That's loud, right? Really loud and crisp hat. It's just rolling and bubbly and euphoric. Same thing with the clap. Loud and crisp. It's funny, I believe, you know, they did their work in the UK, but it feels like continental style acid techno. Like, it's like acid techno you might hear in Germany in '95 or '96. Like the important label, like you know, Acrid Abeyance and Plank and that sort of stuff. Hollow Movement. cymbal crashing away now. You got that little like cowbell percussive loop. And all the while the acid just keeps churning away. Acid-techno for acid lovers, like, it's not that it's light on the techno, but it's heavy on the acid. Real kind of like liquidy, it's like flowing acid brooks, maybe not like a full river, but like little like industrial alarm has gone off, but it's hard to hear past all the gurgling and the bubbling. Funny because like the track in one sense does the same thing for like 7 minutes, but listen to how much more intense it is than at the beginning. Listen to how many more layers of time. But fundamentally, it just keeps doing the same thing. That was like lightning acid across the top. Love what they did with that measure hand. tunes. I'll let it do its thing. Yeah, it's one of those tunes like a lot of Solar Quest tracks or, hard floor tunes where like it's as much a work of art as it is like a dance floor banger. Like it is that also, don't get me wrong. But yeah, the way it's constructed is like it's not about necessarily like fitting a formula or getting in a like 5 minute dance track, like whatever. It's like it just explores the space and it just keeps throwing like acid layers and like acid configurations into the mixing bowl and shaking it around, but the recipe fundamentally remains the same the whole time. It's just that gurgling roll over that rhythm, roll over the acid like feel to it. So yeah, it's one of those things, and a lot of their tracks are like that. Confusion Dub, I mentioned, that tune used in the Blade movie. It's the same thing. It has a harder edge. It's a bit more of a wicked acid track, but it's the same thing in that like it does the same thing for the whole track, but it keeps adding layers and keeps adding like texture to the point by the end where it's like, yeah, it's still the same thing, but oh my god, it's so different. And that one is the same. The Remover Dub is the same thing. So they really know how to add tunes or add layers to tunes progressively. Like the structure of their tunes is fascinating. They did also make tunes under their own name, Tim Taylor and Dan Zamani, including one called The Planet of the Drums, or Planet of Drums. I think it's just The Planet of Drums, I think. But yeah, it's another tune that was on one of the acid-techno or Sound of Acid Core volumes. I think also the first one. But yeah, that's another classic. I know a lot of old acid heads will know that track. But yeah, let me know what you think of this one. Let me know if you are familiar with the Confusion Dub or just, Confusion. Like I said, there's a couple different versions of it. Same thing with Remover. I think the same thing with Ego Acid here, which is why it's, they make a note that it's the original mix on this one. But yeah, let me know what you think of the pump panel. Very like mid-90s acid, different than, London acid techno, which a lot of the acid techno I listen to and play is in that London style. But again, I have a lot of records from, like Important and a number of labels in like Germany and sort of continental European acid techno from the 90s. And again, there's a lot of tunes that I would say, whether you're talking the UK or continental Europe at the time, that they bear characteristics of both acid techno and acid trance. So in some cases it's like, like it sounds like similar, but it's also like, maybe under certain interpretations a different genre. But this I think is very much acid techno. But as I said, I think their sound is a different sound than say Stay Up Forever and Rootmaster and Smitten were doing in '95 is the point I'm making. But yeah, the two guys, they ran the Missile label, which again, it has a lot of stuff like this. I'm trying to remember the other labels they appeared on. Let me just check really quick. Oh yeah, FFRR, that's the one that I have the Confusion, or no, the Remover Dub on. And then yeah, as I said, they released under their own like label too, so, or their own production like studio. Nevertheless, let me know what you think of this one. Let me know if there's another tune, including whether it's the Confusion Dub or Remover, that you'd like to hear. And then other than that, I'm gonna see. I don't know if I have the Planet of Drums track, but now that it's come back to my mind, I gotta figure out if I have that one, because it'd be worth listening to that if I can find it. But yeah, other than that, thank you for listening and watching. I will see you next time.